I used to have a very special relationship with my alarm clock. I'd slap the snooze button like it owed me money. 5 times was the record, zero mercy shown. Then I'd lie there, staring at the ceiling, already angry about emails I hadn't even opened yet. My morning anthem, the soundtrack to my life, was a simple question: why is this happening to me? A traffic jam on the way to work? It was a personal attack. Spilling coffee on my shirt right before a big meeting? Definitely a targeted strike. My boss texting before the sun was even up? A conspiracy, for sure. Then one day, a friend of mine, over a casual coffee, dropped 6 words that sounded like something you'd read on a cheap refrigerator magnet. But for some reason, they stuck with me. He just said, "This is happening for me." It sounded ridiculous. But since that day, my work life, my marriage, even the way I look at myself in the mirror have all gone completely off script in the best way possible. Stick around for a few minutes, because at the end of this video, I'm going to share a powerful 60-second nightly ritual that will help you lock this mindset in for good. To really understand the change, you have to picture the before. Picture me in soul-crushing gridlock, both hands squeezing the steering wheel so hard my knuckles were white. I was absolutely convinced the universe had a cosmic dartboard with my face plastered right in the center. Stress was my constant companion, clinging to me like cheap, overpowering cologne. I just couldn't shake it. This feeling bled into everything. I'd come home and bark at my partner about socks left on the floor, as if those socks were a symbol of total disrespect. At work, I'd lie awake at night replaying a single typo in the quarterly report, convinced it would be my downfall. I'd doom scroll through Instagram, comparing my messy reality to everyone else's curated perfection, feeling like life's designated punching bag. The real kicker, the anchor weighing me down, was that 2-letter word. 2. Deadlines happened to me. Rejection happened to me. Traffic happened to me. Even when something good happened, it felt temporary, like a prize that could be snatched back at any moment. That word, 2, kept me strapped in the back seat of my own life, watching everything happen through a window instead of actually steering. It's a disempowering belief, and it makes you a victim of your circumstances. One evening, I was on a classic rant to a friend who, let's be honest, doubles as my unofficial therapist. I was going on and on about some work catastrophe when she gently interrupted me. "Swap to with 4, she said. "Just try it. See what happens." My first reaction was a full-body eye roll. It sounded like fluffy, meaningless nonsense. But a couple of hours later, I got a chance to test it. My kid, in a moment of pure creative chaos, decided the kitchen floor would look better as a Jackson Pollock masterpiece, using a full carton of milk. My old reflex, the one hardwired for years, was to go straight into volcano mode. I could feel the anger rising. But then, like a strange whisper, I heard that phrase float up from my memory. "This is happening for me." Instead of yelling, a weird sense of calm washed over me. What if this wasn't a disaster? What was this for? In that moment, the anger just deflated. My kid and I locked eyes, and we just started laughing. We mopped up the milky mess together, and that small moment of connection felt huge. Later that night, inspired by this tiny win, I finally backed up my laptop, a task I'd been putting off since 2019. It was a tiny victory, but it delivered a huge dopamine hit. This isn't about denial or pretending problems don't exist. It's about changing the search engine in your brain. You're switching from the self-pitying question of "why me?" to the empowering question of "what now?" or "what's next?" Once I started practicing this, the plot of my life began to change in tangible ways. Work. A few months later, I was passed over for a promotion I'd worked my tail off for. The old me would have spiraled, seeing it as proof I wasn't good enough. The new me asked, "Okay, how is this happening for me?" That question forced me to look at the situation differently. It gave me the push I needed to pour my energy into a side hustle I'd been dreaming about. That side hustle eventually became my own company. It turned out to be the best rejection letter I ever received. Relationships. My wife and I had hit a rough patch where we were bickering about everything, from who took out the trash to bigger life decisions. The friction was constant. Applying the new lens made us curious instead of combative. We started asking, what is this friction teaching us? What is this happening for? That simple question led to us scheduling intentional Sunday coffee chats to actually talk, without the accusations. Now, she puts them on the calendar before I even have to ask. Health. I was training for a marathon and completely blew out my knee. I was sidelined, frustrated, and deep into a sulk. It felt like a total loss. But after weeks of feeling sorry for myself, I asked the question, how could this possibly be for me? The answer was in the recovery. Physical therapy wasn't just about my knee. It rerouted my entire approach to fitness. I discovered yoga, something I'd always dismissed. Now, I'm more flexible and calmer than ever, and my knees don't sound like a bag of microwave popcorn every time I take the stairs. The plot twist you're waiting for never shows up until you decide to change the story you're telling yourself. This isn't just wishful thinking. There's a biological reason this works. Our brains are hardwired for drama and, more importantly, for survival. When you ask, why is this happening to me? You are signaling to your brain that you are under threat. This activates your amygdala, the brain's primitive alarm system. The amygdala slams the panic button, triggering a fight-or-flight response and flooding your system with stress hormones, essentially hijacking your ability to think rationally. But when you ask, how is this happening for me? You engage a different part of your brain entirely. This question activates the prefrontal cortex, the hub of logical reasoning, creativity, and problem solving. Instead of panicking, your brain starts hunting for patterns, opportunities, and solutions. It's a process psychologists call cognitive reframing. When you do this enough, you are physically changing your brain. You are weakening the old neural pathways of stress and strengthening new pathways of resilience and creativity, a process known as neuroplasticity. It's like turning your internal radio from a doom metal station that only plays static to a channel that plays lo-fi focused beats, helping you find clarity amid the noise. So here is the 60-second ritual I promised. It's simple, but you have to do it. Grab any scrap of paper, a post-it note, the back of a receipt, anything. Tonight, before you go to bed, write down one thing that annoyed you or frustrated you today. Big or small, it doesn't matter. Got it? Now, underneath it, write the question, how was this for me? You don't need to find a profound, earth-shattering answer. No rainbow emojis are required. Just approach it with genuine curiosity. For example, the traffic jam that made you late? It gave you an extra 20 minutes to listen to that podcast or mentally nail the pitch for your afternoon meeting. Your boss's harsh feedback? It highlighted a blind spot you weren't aware of, giving you a clear area for professional growth. Fold that piece of paper and drop it in a jar. An old pickle jar, a coffee mug, whatever. Do this every single night. In 30 days, empty the jar and read your receipts. You will have a pile of physical proof showing you how the ratio of meltdown to momentum has flipped in your favor. Now, a quick reality check. This mindset is not a magic wand, and it's crucial to understand what it isn't. First, this is not toxic positivity. Pretending a devastating illness or a tragic loss is a gift is both weird and cruel. This technique is not about denying pain or injustice. It is about choosing your next move within the reality you are facing. It's about reclaiming your personal agency and focusing on what you can control, not pretending that things outside your control don't hurt. Second, don't chase perfection. You are not going to nail this every time. Some mornings, I still wake up, stub my toe, and immediately growl, why me? The goal isn't to be a perfect, enlightened being 24/7. It's about progress, not perfection. When you have a to me moment, just notice it without judgment. Then, you can look at the jar on your counter and remember that the overall trend line is what matters most. If this idea is clicking for you and you want more tools to reframe your reality, hit that subscribe button. And then, drop your own 6-word twist in the comments below. I read every single one, and you never know, yours might just end up on my fridge. The For Me switch is the gateway, but once you get comfortable with it, you can stack other powerful mindset shifts on top to make life feel like it's in high definition. Here are 3 to start with. 1. I am enough. This one is a direct antidote to the constant hamster wheel of chasing approval and external validation. It puts a stop to the feeling that you always need to do more, be more, or have more to be worthy. 2. Feel it all. This is the counterbalance to toxic positivity. It's the permission to be human. Anger, sadness, grief, these aren't weaknesses. Crying is just the brain's way of defragging and processing complex information. Allowing yourself to feel everything makes you more resilient, not less. 3. Celebrate the micro wins. Don't wait for the big parade at the finish line. Acknowledging and celebrating the tiny moments of progress, like finally clearing out your email inbox or choosing to take a walk instead of scrolling, creates momentum. Tiny bits of confetti are better than waiting for a ticker tape parade that may never come. When you start to bundle these mindsets together, ordinary Tuesdays begin to have their own powerful, positive soundtrack. The next time life throws a curveball, the inbox explodes with urgent demands, the Wi-Fi dies during a critical presentation, or the dog literally eats your homework, just pause. Take one deep breath. Whisper to yourself, "This is happening for me." Then get curious. Watch as that simple question opens up doors and reveals paths you didn't even notice were there before. This isn't about changing your circumstances. It's about changing your relationship with them. So fill the jar, flip the story, and let 6 little words drag you farther, faster, and with more joy than any to-do list ever could.